Tyler, the creator, just detonated a second nuke. The Sag Harbor freestyle was supposed to be the finale. It wasn't. New evidence just surfaced that links Frank Ocean, Kanye's camp, and a $100 million Sony leak. The internet is spinning because this might be bigger than hip-hop itself. Everybody thought they knew the full story. Tyler dropped a Christmas morning freestyle, roasted his idols, mocked stadium tours, and disappeared into the sunset. That was the version everyone repeated for 72 hours. Clean, calculated, done. But now, new leaks, deleted posts, and corporate slip-ups got the whole narrative twisting, because what looked like a victory lap might actually be the opening salvo of a full-scale industry war. And the targets? They're not staying silent anymore. Kanye's stylist is posting cryptic shots, Drake's liking memes, Sony's leaking press releases, and Tyler? He just posted a green-tinted selfie at 3 in the morning with 2 words that should terrify everyone. Round 2 loading. Let me break this down piece by piece, because the internet just became a crime lab. Within 45 minutes of the Sag Harbor upload, Reddit's r/OFWGKTA community went full forensic mode. Tyler mumbled a name in the line "guilt from blank got me emotionally regressing." The blur was intentional, but fans don't accept blurs. They ran the audio through spectral analysis apps, slowed it down, isolated frequencies, and every single thread landed on the same 3-syllable conclusion. Frankie, as in Frank Ocean. By nightfall, Twitter's top trend wasn't Sag Harbor, it was #guilt from Frankie. And here's where it gets insane. Fans started stitching this to a 2024 ASCAP takedown nobody talked about. An unreleased Tyler-Frank collaboration got scrubbed from the database mid-year. No explanation, no press, just gone. Coincidence? The internet jury says absolutely not. Now check this out. Christmas night, 11:57 p.m., Kanye's stylist turned unofficial press secretary posted an Instagram story. Black screen, white text, 7 words. Betrayal wears pastel knits, over the exact timestamp where Tyler brags, "My idol is my rival." The account doesn't follow Tyler, but it does follow Drake, Travis Scott, and Playboi Carti. The post stayed up for 14 minutes before deletion. Too late, screenshots flooded every hip-hop forum within the hour. Translation, shots fired, subliminal style. Kanye's camp just confirmed they heard the diss and they're coordinating a response with Tyler's other rivals. Then, Boxing Day morning hits, Rap Charts, the analytics account every label watches, dropped a graphic comparing Drake's 2025 tour growth to Tyler's Chromacopia run. Bar graph shaped like a free throw line, caption, "Stadiums would charity strike." The implication is brutal. Drake liked it within 90 seconds. Tyler saw it, waited 3 hours, then quote tweeted with 6 words. "Math isn't your strong suit, huh?" The ratio was instant, 30,000 likes. Drake's original tweet, 4,000. Fans started pulling actual Polestar data showing Drake canceled 4 Canadian arenas due to, quote, low demand, while Tyler's adding stadium dates. The numbers don't lie, and Tyler just put them on blast in front of 12 million people. Meanwhile, Travis Scott goes ghost mode. His last tweet was December 23rd, radio silence. But his Fortnite skin re-entered the item shop at 11:59 p.m. Christmas for a surprise 24-hour drop. No announcement. Fortnite's official TikTok used the Sag Harbor instrumental on a promo clip. 20 minutes later, they quietly swapped it out. Fans noticed, screen recording circulated. The conspiracy theory? Travis's team pressured Epic Games to remove it because the song disrespects him. If true, that means Tyler's freestyle is so threatening that a billion-dollar gaming company got involved to protect a rapper's feelings. That hits different. And then the nuke. Columbia Records' parent company, Sony Music, accidentally published a 2026 press release template on their investor portal. The headline touted our first $100 million solo rap deal. The name field? Blank, a placeholder, but the timestamp? 26 minutes after Tyler rapped, "Tag 100 mil on the price, I'm taxing." The PDF stayed live for 11 minutes before yanking. Didn't matter, the Streisand effect already activated. Discord servers archived it, Twitter memes exploded. The speculation is deafening. Did Sony accidentally confirm Tyler already signed the bag? Or did they leak it to bait Drake and Travis into a bidding war? Either way, Tyler's bar about 100 mil just became a self-fulfilling prophecy in real time, and the labels are scrambling. Online detectives took this to a new level, digging into every detail like they're on some CSI mission. They started cross-referencing Tyler's Instagram activity, Spotify playlist updates, and even the metadata on the Sag Harbor audio file. Folks online swear the file was recorded in the studio, not a home setup, because the acoustics match a specific SSL console frequency signature. That means this wasn't a spontaneous freestyle. This was calculated, mixed, and engineered for maximum impact. Tyler didn't wake up and vent. He planned a tactical strike, and every target is now responding exactly how he predicted.
Now let's get into the motive, because this is where everything starts clicking into place like a conspiracy board in the movie. Tyler, the Creator, is currently sitting on the best year of his career. Chromacopia debuted #1. Every date sold out. Critical acclaim. Grammy buzz for the album. And now, Oscar whispers from Marty Supreme, the sports indie where he plays a lead role opposite Timothée Chalamet. Awards blogger Pete Hammond dropped a blind item on the Deadline podcast 2 days after Christmas. A Grammy-winning rapper's performance in a sports indie is testing through the roof with Academy Actors Branch. Studio planning stealth for your consideration push. No names mentioned, but Marty Supreme is the only 2025 sports indie starring a rapper. If Tyler gets nominated, he becomes the first rapper with an Oscar nod for acting since Will Smith. That's legacy defining. That's bargaining power. That's leverage to renegotiate his entire contract, his masters, his touring splits. Think about it. Tyler isn't just rapping anymore. He's building an empire across music, film, fashion, and festivals. The Sag Harbor freestyle isn't just a diss track. It's a negotiation tactic disguised as art. But here's the flip side. The people he's dissing, they're in free fall or stagnation. Let's start with Kanye. Ye went from billionaire fashion mogul to persona non grata in 18 months. Adidas dropped him, Gap dropped him. His net worth reportedly collapsed from $1.5 billion to $400 million. Meanwhile, Tyler's Gulf Wang brand is expanding into flagship stores. Tyler's wearing the pastel sweater knit aesthetic that Kanye invented in 2010, but now Tyler owns it. That's not just a diss, that's psychological warfare. Tyler's saying, I took your blueprint, perfected it, and you can't do anything about it. That kind of symbolic theft hits deeper than any bar. Drake's situation is different but equally messy. Drizzy's 2025 tour, the one he hyped as his biggest ever, underperformed catastrophically. 4 Canadian arenas canceled due to low demand. Polestar quietly updated his 2026 probables list, and Drake's stadium count dropped to 0. The footnote cited industry skepticism post-2025 cancellations. Meanwhile, Tyler's rumored to have 9 stadiums locked for 2026. Kendrick's got 14, Travis has 8, Drake has none. And Tyler just reminded 12 million people of that fact with a meme ratio. The fall-off is public, humiliating, and irreversible unless Drake responds with something nuclear. But here's the problem. Drake's last beef with Kendrick ended in a loss. If he goes at Tyler and loses again, his legacy is cooked. So he's stuck liking memes instead of dropping diss tracks, and Tyler knows it. Travis Scott's situation is a weird middle ground. He's still commercially massive. Utopia debuted huge, but culturally, he's stagnant. No innovation, no risks, just safe festival headliner music. And Tyler just called that out with the Fortnite skin situation. Travis profits off a gaming skin, while Tyler's building theme parks and directing films. The contrast is stark. And the whispers online say Travis is nervous because Tyler's fan base overlaps with his. If Tyler keeps pushing, he could siphon off the younger, more artistically minded fans who currently rock with Travis. That's an existential threat, not just a lyrical jab. Then there's Frank Ocean, the blurred name, the guilt line, and the ASCAP takedown. Frank's been radio silent since 2020. No album, no features, just expensive Coachella cancellations and luxury brand campaigns. But the Tyler-Frank friendship was foundational to Odd Future's legacy. If that relationship collapsed over legal disputes, unreleased music, or creative differences, Tyler airing it on a Christmas freestyle is a betrayal that the internet will dissect for years. And here's the wild part. Frank's team hasn't denied anything. Silence is confirmation in the court of public opinion, and Tyler just weaponized it. Put all that together, and you see the perfect recipe for a multi-front war. Tyler's not just responding to disrespect, he's actively dismantling the competition while they're vulnerable. He's using their weaknesses, their canceled tours, their legal troubles, their stagnant artistry, and turning it into ammunition. This isn't rap beef, this is corporate warfare with a hip-hop soundtrack. And the scariest part, Tyler's winning without even trying that hard. One freestyle on Christmas morning just shifted the entire power grid of the industry, and his rivals don't know how to respond without making it worse.
But here's the part that really hits different when you step back from the industry chess game. There's a human cost to all this that nobody's talking about yet. Frank Ocean, if the rumors are true, is the one who got caught in the emotional crossfire. This is someone who built a career on vulnerability, when exploring identity and heartbreak and isolation. Blonde is one of the most emotionally raw albums of the 2010s. And now he's allegedly the source of guilt that's making Tyler emotionally regress. That line isn't just a diss. That's Tyler admitting pain. That's him saying, this person I loved, creatively and maybe personally, hurt me so badly that I'm backsliding into old trauma. And Frank can't respond. He's been silent for 5 years. No album, no interviews. Just expensive brand deals and canceled festival sets. The leaked footage from Coachella 2023 showed a visibly distressed Frank struggling through a shortened set before pulling out completely. You could see the exhaustion, the weight. That's somebody who's dealing with their own demons. And now Tyler's adding public guilt to the pile. And it's not just Frank. Think about the fans. Odd Future fans grew up with Tyler and Frank as a duo. Channel Orange and Wolf dropped the same era. They represented different sides of the same emotional coin. Tyler was chaos and humor. Frank was introspection and melancholy. Together, they made something bigger than themselves. And now, that partnership might be dead over legal disputes or personal betrayals we'll never fully understand. That's messed up. Fans are mourning a friendship they felt ownership over, even though it was never theirs to begin with. The comments under every Tyler post since Christmas are flooded with "Free Franken," "We need answers," and "This is breaking my heart." That's real emotional fallout, affecting millions of people who just wanted the music to continue. Kanye's in a different kind of pain. Say what you want about his controversies, but the man is clearly struggling mentally. His public breakdowns, his erratic interviews, his financial losses, they're all symptoms of someone spiraling. And Kanye, his former mentee, just called him my idol turned rival on the biggest day of the year. That's his son disowning a father in front of the world. Kanye's entire identity was built on being the mentor, the innovator, the one everyone looked up to. And now Tyler's saying, I outgrew you, surpassed you, and I'm taking your aesthetic with me. That's not just a diss, that's an identity crisis trigger. And for someone already dealing with mental health crises, that could be devastating. It's entertainment for us, but for Kanye, it might be the confirmation of his worst fears. That he's irrelevant now, that the culture moved on without him, and that his own proteges are leading the charge. Drake's situation is almost tragic in its predictability. He spent 15 years being the biggest rapper alive, and now he's watching the throne crumble in real time. Kendrick bodied him. Tyler's mocking his tour sales. The younger generation doesn't care about him the way they used to. And the worst part? He can't do anything about it without looking desperate. If he responds to Tyler, he's punching down. If he stays silent, he looks weak. He's trapped in a lose-lose, and Tyler engineered it perfectly. That's somebody's legacy dissolving in public, and the internet's treating it like a spectator sport. There's something deeply sad about watching an empire collapse, even when you didn't like the empire to begin with. Now this is where things get even crazier because the evidence keeps stacking and the story keeps evolving in real time. Let's talk about the Larry June connection that TikTok just uncovered. An eagle-eyed user noticed that Tyler's flow on verse 1 of Sag Harbor matches Larry June's Orange Juice in Vancouver cadence exactly, down to the ad-lib placement, down to the breath control. Larry June reposted the split-screen comparison with the zipper mouth emoji and nothing else. No caption, no confirmation, just acknowledgement. Within hours, collaboration album rumors exploded across hip-hop Twitter. Fans started pulling old interviews where Tyler praised Larry's independent grind. They found Instagram comments from 2023 where Larry called Tyler the blueprint. And now the theory is that Tyler and Larry have a joint project finished and Sag Harbor was the soft launch. If true, that's a strategic alliance that could reshape the independent rap economy. Larry June moves units without major label support. Tyler owns his masters and runs his own festival.
Together, they'd be an independent powerhouse that could rival major label artists in pure profit margins. That's not just music, that's a business model threatening the entire industry structure. Then there's the Oscar Whisper campaign that's gaining serious traction. Pete Hammond's blind item wasn't a one-off. Variety's awards editor published a think piece 3 days ago titled, "Can Hip-Hop Finally Break the Acting Branch?" The article doesn't name Tyler directly, but it references Marty Supreme 4 times and calls the performance a revelation that could force the Academy to reckon with rap credibility in dramatic roles. That's code. That's campaigning. And if Tyler's studio is planning a stealth FYC push, that means screeners are going out to Academy voters, Q&A events are being scheduled, and trade advisor in the works. Oscar campaigns cost millions. The fact that a studio is willing to invest that money in a rapper's acting debut means they believe he can win. And if Tyler gets nominated, he's not just a musician anymore. He's a legitimate crossover star with Hollywood credibility, which gives him leverage in every room he walks into for the rest of his career. The touring data is where the evidence gets coldest and most brutal. Pollstar's updated 2026 probables list is public information, and the numbers are devastating for Drake. 14 stadiums for Kendrick, 9 for Tyler, 8 for Travis, 0 for Drake, with a footnote citing industry skepticism post-2025 cancellations. But here's what Pollstar didn't publish: the internal promoter memos that leaked to a touring industry Discord server. The memos, allegedly from Live Nation, describe Drake's 2025 tour as a miscalculation of demand in a post-streaming dominance market. Translation: Drake's Spotify numbers don't translate to ticket sales anymore. People stream his music at the gym, but they're not paying $200 to see him live. That's a fundamental shift in how star power works, and Drake's on the wrong side of it. Meanwhile, Tyler's Chromacopia tour sold out arenas in minutes, with resale prices tripling. That's real demand. That's cultural heat. And the promoters know it, which is why Tyler's getting stadium offers and Drake's getting ghosted. The Sony leak is still the nuclear evidence, though. The PDF that circulated on Discord contained more than just the $100 million deal headline. It included a redacted contract structure mentioning 360 deal termination and master's reversion clause. Legal experts on Reddit's Hip Hop Heads forum broke it down. If Sony's offering $100 million, they're not doing a traditional 360 deal where they own everything. They're offering a distribution-only deal where the artist retains ownership. That's unprecedented for a rap contract at that scale. And if Tyler's the unnamed artist, which every piece of circumstantial evidence suggests, he's not just getting paid, he's keeping control. That's generational wealth with creative freedom. That's the dream every independent artist chases, and Tyler's about to close it. And the fact that Sony accidentally leaked it? Please, that was intentional. They wanted Drake, Travis, and every other free agent to know the number, so they'd panic and consider Sony for their next deal. It's corporate psychological warfare, and Tyler's the bait. But wait, there's more. Fans online have been working like full-blown investigators, and they found something wild in Tyler's Instagram activity. On December 24th, 12 hours before the Sag Harbor drop, Tyler followed 3 new accounts: a copyright attorney based in Los Angeles, a music rights management firm, and Quincy Jones's estate account. Then he unfollowed all 3 on December 26th. The timing is suspicious as hell. Why follow a copyright attorney right before dropping a diss track? Why follow a music rights management firm before a Sony leak? And why Quincy Jones's estate? Fans think Tyler's preparing for legal battles over samples, cleared verses, or disputed collaborations. The Quincy follow is especially interesting because Quincy famously renegotiated Michael Jackson's masters in the 80s. If Tyler's studying that playbook, he's not just making music, he's making moves that'll echo for decades. And finally, the green-tinted selfie. Tyler posted it at 3:14 a.m. on December 28th. Green tint, no caption except round 2 loading. Location tagged somewhere in Sag Harbor. The photo stayed up for 8 minutes before deletion, but fans saved it, and they noticed something in the background: a blurred figure. Theories exploded. Is it Frank? Is it Larry June? Is it a decoy? One TikToker enhanced the image and claimed the figure is wearing a blonded hoodie, Tyler Frank's merch line. If true, that means Frank and Tyler were together recently, which contradicts the entire guilt from Frankie narrative, unless they're working through it, unless the guilt line was past tense and now they're reconciling. That would be the ultimate plot twist. But until either of them confirms, it's just speculation layered on conspiracy, layered on hope. Let's keep it real though. This whole situation extends way beyond just Tyler and his immediate targets. The ripple effects are touching every corner of the industry, and people are starting to pick sides in ways that could define the next era of hip-hop. Take someone like J. Cole, who's been Switzerland in every rap beef for a decade. Cole's whole brand is "I'm above the drama, I just make thoughtful music." But even he can't avoid this. Fans are flooding his comments asking if he's Team Tyler or Team Drake. He hasn't responded, but his silence is noticeable because Cole and Tyler came up in the same era. They toured together in 2013. If Cole stays neutral, he looks cowardly. If he picks a side, he alienates half his fan base. Tyler just put the entire conscious rap lane in an impossible position without even naming them directly. That's strategic brilliance. Then there's the younger generation responding in real time. Baby Tron tweeted "Tyler really him" with 5 fire emojis on Christmas Day. Destroy Lonely quoted the tag 100 mil bar on his Instagram story. Even Ice Spice, who has nothing to do with this beef, posted a video vibing to Sag Harbor with the caption "Mood." The younger acts are aligning with Tyler because he represents independence, creativity, and authenticity. Meanwhile, Drake and Travis represent the old guard, corporate, play it safe approach. This isn't just beef, it's a generational divide crystallizing in real time, and the next wave of stars is clearly choosing the Tyler side of the lineup. Academics, the media personality who usually covers every beef with encyclopedic detail, has been weirdly quiet. He posted one tweet, "This Tyler situation is deeper than y'all think," then nothing. That's uncharacteristic. Academics built his career on dissecting rap drama bar by bar, and now he's radio silent. Fans think he's been pressured by Drake's camp to stay neutral since Ak and Drake are close. If true, that means Drake's so worried about this beef escalating that he's calling in favors with media allies to suppress coverage. That's desperation. That's someone trying to control a narrative that's already spiraled beyond control. The fashion world is even getting involved. Tremaine Emory, the creative director who worked with Ye and now runs Supreme, posted a cryptic Instagram story, a photo of a pastel Kennett sweater with the caption, "Some things can't be taken, only given." Fans immediately linked it to Tyler's aesthetic theft of Kanye's old look. Tremaine is co-signing Tyler without saying his name. That's a subtle but significant endorsement from someone with deep ties to both camps. It signals that even the fashion insiders see Tyler as the evolution and Kanye as the past. And let's not forget the international reaction. UK grime artists like Skepta and Stormzy both tweeted fire emojis under Tyler's post. French rapper Orelsan shared the Sag Harbor link with no comment. Even Brazilian funk artists are remixing the instrumental. Tyler's diss track is becoming a global moment, which almost never happens with American rap beef. Kendrick and Drake's feud stayed mostly US focused, but Tyler's resonating worldwide because the themes are universal. Outgrowing your idols, rejecting corporate control, building something independently. That's a message that translates across cultures, and Tyler is accidentally becoming a global symbol of artistic rebellion. There's also the generational wealth conversation bubbling under the surface. Tyler's parents weren't rich. He grew up in Ladera Heights, a middle-class black neighborhood in LA. He built everything from scratch. Meanwhile, Drake had industry connections through his acting career. Travis had T.I. as a mentor. Kanye had Damon Dash. The self-made narrative is powerful, and Tyler is wielding it like a weapon. Every time he mentions owning his masters or rejecting 360 deals, he's speaking directly to young artists who feel trapped by predatory contracts. He's becoming a symbol of what's possible when you refuse to compromise. And that's more dangerous to the industry than any diss bar. And here's a side story nobody's connecting yet. Tyler's been quietly executing projects for younger artists. He helped produce Kali Uchis's latest album. He's credited on Vince Staples' recent work. He's mentoring the next wave in the exact way Kanye used to mentor him. Except Tyler's doing it without the chaos, without the public breakdowns, without the exploitation. He's building a creative ecosystem that could rival Kanye's good music in its prime. And he's doing it under the radar. That's long-term empire building disguised as a Christmas freestyle. And this story is still unfolding with way bigger implications than just one rapper dissing another on a holiday weekend. What we're seeing here is a fundamental power shift in how the music industry operates at the highest level. For decades, the model was simple. Sign a deal with a major label, give them control of your masters and touring and merch, and hope they make you famous enough to renegotiate later. That system created superstars like Drake and Kanye and Jay-Z, but it also trapped hundreds of artists in exploitative contracts they couldn't escape. Tyler's representing a new model. Own everything from day one. Build your own festival instead of headlining someone else's. Launch your own clothing line instead of signing an endorsement deal. Direct your own films instead of waiting for Hollywood to call. And when the major labels finally come calling with $100 million offer, make sure you're negotiating from a position of strength where you keep ownership. That's not just smart business. That's a blueprint that could reshape the entire industry if enough artists follow it. The bigger conversation is about what happens when the old guard loses power and doesn't know how to respond. Kanye is reacting with cryptic Instagram posts, Drake's liking memes, Travis is going silent. None of them have a coherent strategy because they've never been in this position before. They've always been the ones in control, the ones setting trends, the ones younger artists looked up to. And now Tyler's flipped the script. He's the trendsetter. He's the one with creative credibility and commercial success and critical acclaim, and they're the ones scrambling to stay relevant. That generational shift is inevitable in every industry, but watching it happen in real time to people who seemed untouchable just 5 years ago is genuinely shocking. There's also a cautionary tale here about longevity and reinvention. Tyler's on album 7, and every project feels distinct. He's going from horrorcore to jazz rap to funk soul to whatever chromacopia is. Meanwhile, Drake's been making the same album for 10 years. Travis hasn't evolved sonically since Rodeo. Kanye's creativity collapsed under the weight of his controversies. The artists who stay relevant are the ones who take risks and grow, even when it's uncomfortable. Tyler's proving that you can be commercially successful and artistically adventurous at the same time. You don't have to choose. And the artists who do choose safety over growth eventually get left behind. What's wild is how this beef is also exposing the limits of streaming era dominance. Drake has the most streams, he has the biggest Spotify numbers, but his tour flopped. His cultural cachet is fading. Meanwhile, Tyler has fewer streams but way more cultural heat. His fans buy vinyl, they go to his festivals, they engage deeply rather than passively. That's the difference between being popular and being important. Drake's popular, Tyler's important. And in the long run, importance always outlasts popularity. That's a lesson every artist should be studying right now. And finally, this situation is a warning for anybody with a platform and a legacy. The more you achieve, the more you had to lose. Kanye built an empire, but his controversies destroyed it. Drake dominated for 15 years, but one bad tour exposed his vulnerabilities. Tyler's reminding everyone that success is fragile, that the culture moves fast, and that if you're not constantly earning your position, someone hungrier is ready to take it. The internet doesn't care about what you did 5 years ago. It cares about what you're doing right now. And right now, Tyler's doing more, creating more, and strategizing better than anyone else in his lane. That's not luck, that's intention, and it's terrifying for anyone who thought they were untouchable. So where does this go from here? Because the story is far from over, and the next few weeks could determine the trajectory of multiple careers. First, the Frank Ocean situation has to resolve somehow. Either Frank breaks his 5-year silence and addresses the guilt line, or his continued silence confirms the rumors. Both options are devastating. If he speaks, he has to explain what happened between him and Tyler, which could expose personal or legal details neither of them wants public. If he stays quiet, the narrative gets written without him, and Tyler's version becomes the official story. There's no good move for Frank here, which is why his team is probably in crisis mode trying to figure out damage control. And if the blurred figure in Tyler's green-tinted selfie really was Frank, that adds a whole new layer of confusion. Are they reconciling? Was the diss a moment of anger that's already passed? Or is Tyler playing mind games by posting old photos to keep everyone guessing? We genuinely don't know, and that ambiguity is part of the strategy. Second, Kanye's response is inevitable. He's too prideful and too reactive to let this slide. The question isn't if he'll respond, but how. Will it be a Sunday service track? A full diss album? A 10-minute Instagram rant? Knowing Kanye's current mental state and his pattern of escalating conflicts, it's probably going to be messy. And if he comes at Tyler with personal attacks instead of lyrical skill, it's only going to make Tyler look better by comparison. The worst thing Kanye could do is prove Tyler's point that his idol really has fallen off. But that's exactly what he'll probably do because he's incapable of taking the high road anymore. Third, this Sony deal needs confirmation or denial. If Tyler really signed a $100 million contract with full ownership, that's headline news that reshapes every negotiation happening right now. Drake's a free agent after his Universal deal expires. Travis is renegotiating with Cactus Jack and Epic. If they see Tyler getting paid and keeping his masters, they're going to demand the same. And if Sony set that precedent with one artist, other labels will be forced to match it or lose talent. This could trigger a complete restructuring of how major label rap deals work, which would be Tyler's most significant cultural impact beyond the music itself. Fourth, the Oscar campaign. If Marty Supreme gets Tyler an academic award nomination, he'll be the first rapper with an acting nod since Will Smith, and only the third ever after Will and Queen Latifah. That's legacy defining. That's crossover success that opens doors no rappers ever walked through, and it completely changes how Hollywood views hip-hop artists, from novelty cameos to legitimate dramatic actors. The ripple effect could benefit everyone from Vince Staples to ASAP Rocky to anyone else trying to transition into film. Tyler wouldn't just be winning for himself, he'd be opening a lane for an entire generation. And finally, round two. Tyler said it himself, round two loading. That wasn't a bluff. He's planning another move, and it's probably going to hit even harder because now everyone's paying attention. Maybe it's a full Biss album. Maybe it's a surprise collaboration with someone unexpected. Maybe it's a visual component like a short film or a documentary exposing industry secrets. Whatever it is, Tyler's proven he's 3 steps ahead of everyone else. He's playing chess while his opponents are still figuring out how the pieces move. And the scariest part, he's doing it all while smiling in pastel knits, looking unbothered and adding stadium dates to his tour. That's not just winning, that's domination. And unless someone figures out how to counter him, 2025 might be remembered as the year Tyler the Creator officially became the most powerful creative force in hip-hop. Not the most famous, not the richest, but the most powerful, because he controls his narrative, his business, and his legacy in ways nobody else can match. Stay locked in because this story is about to get even crazier, and we're tracking every single development as it drops. More detail surfacing every day, more clues buried in Instagram posts, more industry insiders leaking information, and reports say Tyler's already back in the studio working on something that makes Sag Harbor look like a warm-up. So, drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Frank Ocean will finally break his silence and address the guilt line directly? Do you believe Tyler already signed the $100 million Sony deal? Or was that leak just corporate bait to start a bidding war? And the big one, who do you think was in that green-tinted selfie, and does it prove Tyler and Frank are reconciling behind the scenes? I need to know what y'all are thinking, because the theories in the comments section have been absolutely insane, and some of you are connecting dots I didn't even see. Make sure you like the video if you made it this far, because we just spent 38 minutes breaking down the most complex rap beef of the decade, and that algorithm needs to know you're invested. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update, because I promise you we're covering every twist, every deleted post, every cryptic interview, and every industry rumor that comes out of this situation. This is the kind of story that's going to define careers, reshape power structures, and get studied in music business classes 10 years from now. I appreciate every single one of you for rocking with me through this deep dive. Seriously, this is the longest video I've ever made, and the fact that you're still here means you care about the culture as much as I do. And remember, in the saga of Tyler the Creator, the next episode always drops before you're ready. He's proven that twice now. So keep your eyes on his Instagram, keep your ears on the ground for industry leaks, and keep coming back here because I'm not letting this story go until we get resolution. And one more thing, if you're an artist watching this, take notes. Tyler just gave a masterclass on how to control your career, own your narrative, and outmaneuver people twice your size without losing your cool.
That's the blueprint. That's the future. And if you're not studying how he's moving, you're already falling behind. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there. Stay skeptical of everything you read online. And never forget, the most dangerous artists aren't the ones who rap the hardest. They're the ones who think 3 moves ahead and make it look effortless. Tyler's one of those, and we just watched him checkmate half the industry in 38 minutes of freestyle bars. Peace.